broadcasting from Goris. Today, we have restarted the battle activities both in the north and in the south. There were more battles in the north than the previous day, but there were heavy battles also towards the direction of the south. The Armenian troops continue resisting the attacks of the enemy and repulsing them and throwing them back to their initial positions. The enemy sustained serious losses today. At the moment, the battles are going on. Today, the official media of Azerbaijan declared that, and maybe several times, that they have occupied Jebrail and the adjacent villages. It just raises our smile because I was in the city of Hadrut and I have never seen any Azeri, and even more towards this direction there are no active battles currently. At the same time, during the daytime, the shelling of Stepanakert continued. At least there were dozens of explosions from the artillery of different caliber. Today I also saw the damaged church in Shushi. Actually there was a point-blank attack to the church. By the way, 2 attacks, and it cannot be just a chance attack. It was done deliberately. After the press conference, I will present some details about this event. In general, the situation is the following. The battles are going on during the night. As a rule, there are also battles, but in the morning time they become more intensive. Maybe this much. I am ready to answer your questions. If there are no questions, then let us look through the online questions sent by our colleagues. The question from Hamdik Bey. Can you make a statement about our losses? That actually there could be some mistakes, and if there are some mistakes, they are also officially corrected. For example, as we make the final list, at the moment I do not have any corrected numbers because we summarize this information twice a day. They can be, you know, it is possible that there are some mistakes during the war, because there were two sections that we thought that they were missing, and they were just behind the front line, and they after several days of battles they came out. One group was 16 people, the other was 19 people. So this is a process that unfortunately may happen during the wartime. But I do not remember the exact data. The Ministry of Defense of the Republic of Armenia updates this information, and please follow this official information. Our colleagues from New Armenia, judging from the latest statements, declarations made by the Aliyev, there is an impression that we have already surrendered. Well, I have talked about it several times, taking the fact that the military leadership from other countries are present in their armed forces, and at least we have witnessed several times that Aliyev made some statements which were absolutely wrong, and I think that their military management system or command system is fully distorted. So I can state that the strategic system or the war system in Azerbaijan is completely distorted. I don't know what the reason is, but this is a fact. Actually, we know that there can be some failures that are not reported to the higher command, and that's why the administration system or the management system is distorted. This is a question from Sheshke.am. If we compare the intensity of the battles compared with the beginning of the war, is there any reduction or increase in the intensity? You know, the battles cannot be as intensive as they are before and during the different times of the day, depending on the types of the armaments, type of the climatic conditions, rearrangements, regrouping, some tricks, some planned activities, actions, etc. It depends on different phenomena, and so the intensity cannot be sustainable. If you compare the intensity of the battles during the first 2-3 days, then that was the first phase of their planned operation of high intensity, which was repulsed by our armed forces, although we lost some of our positions, but the rate, the intensity of the battles in two directions is low at the moment. So the troops of Azeri forces, the Azeri troops, in conjunction with the Turkish assistance and other support, so the pace of this intensive attack of this huge military machine was crushed by Armenian forces. Sometimes we had just instant successes and victories. So these things, if you compare any person with a primitive military knowledge knows that the military corps, and there are not one. So they've used not more than one military corps. Even they have used the tank brigade of the 4th Corps of Azeri, and the task of this kind of forces is to go in dozens of kilometers with this kind of forces, and so in 3-4 days they must reach to 20-30 kilometers inside of the enemy's territory, but they haven't done it. They failed it, and the rest is just nonsense. The last statement of the Prime Minister that somebody was propagating that we are going to lose our positions, we are going to retreat, etc. Whether the Ministry of Defense knew about it and what are the measures taken by the Ministry of Defense. Let me not answer this question. Because the Ministry of Defense is not going to make any comments of the actions that they are not in fact implementing. These activities are done by other institutions and agencies. These are law enforcement agencies, etc. That's why I cannot comment. I cannot say anything. Under the AM, Mr. Hovhannisyan, why didn't you speak about the names of these 13+1 soldiers? Well, what we didn't declare, we didn't state their names or publish their names or disclose their names because we didn't know what happened with these soldiers, because they were just missing, and that's why we were waiting to see what happens. And if we are not found them dead, why should we disclose their names? Are we going to make any response to the strike, to the Shushi church? Well, you understand your feelings. You understand your feeling. I understand that you want a kind of revenge. It is just my request. We know, the military know how to use even a single bullet. We can use it more intensively. We are not going to follow the vandals because it is not our habit to be vandals. A question from the news. What are the losses in the armaments of the enemy? Well, you know, we are updating the information from morning to morning. That's why, as of today, I do not have any accurate information, but about 2 dozens of vehicles and armored vehicles have been hit today.
24 times GTM-ն է հարցնում, պարոն Հովհաննիսյան, դավաճանության համար ձերբակալվածների գործողությունները ինչքանով են խանգարել մեզ։
Well, there is a treachery, and how do these treacheries prevent your operations? Let me not answer the question. What is the situation in the Nakhichevan sector? It is actually very quiet and relatively quiet, and there are no any active events there. Ani Grigorian, can you provide some information about the prisoners of war and whether there are prisoners from Armenian side and the Azeri side? And the next question is, after the negotiations, what is the situation on the front line, and whether they are still striking or hitting Stepanakert? Actually, I do not have any information about the negotiations. And when it comes to the strikes, you know, I learned about the negotiations only from the media during these negotiations. During these negotiations, the battles were still going on without any difference. What was the weapons used in Shushi, and the eyewitnesses, the populations say that there were some planes, etc. Well, I have been there, I've studied, I've been there, and I think that it can be it could be a drone, but I doubt it, because the drones have wings. And the second option, there was another mean of air attack, but it was not a missile or the artillery. It can be a ballistic missile or other attack weapon launched from the plane. It can be a cruise missile or something. But the fact that it was an accurate and targeted strike, and there was the same strike just on the same position, it is a fact.
Hi, I'm Amanda Coakley, Euronews.
Amanda Coakley,
so you haven't heard anything from Moscow as of tonight?
Yes, as of now, I have no information from Moscow. I think that there can be an official statement about the negotiations, and you will know about it. Sunya's Yerkir, Samvel Alexanian, dear Mr. Hovhannisyan, today in the afternoon, some of the international media expressed some opinion that on Saturday or Sunday there will be an agreement about the ceasefire based on the negotiations in Moscow and the negotiations that took place yesterday in Geneva. What is the probability of the ceasefire on this phase, while you say that there are still intensive fighting? going on. Maybe I'm repeating my colleagues. If you have some information about the Geneva negotiations from Moscow, maybe you can share with him. And today in the afternoon there was a statement that the Azeri leader has changed, made some changes in his position. And I think that he also tends to make the peace negotiations with us. Well, actually, I'm not authorized to make any comments on the negotiations. I'm not aware of anything. I do not have any information. I said that I learned about the negotiations from the media, and in the meantime, and during that time period, I was in Artsakh, and I got some additional information in Goris. But there is no change in the front line during these negotiations. So, well, I cannot say whether they are more intensive than yesterday or the day before yesterday. Well, I cannot make any comparison. Well, some minutes ago, I got some information about the statement of Aliyev, and I saw the Armenian translation of Aliyev. I could not see any changes in his position. Just the contrary, he just demands on surrendering. And the question that you made about his position, I think that the journalists have seen the same material that I have seen. There are more questions. There's a question from the independent journalist. The drone which was seen in Vartanis, it was just intelligence and for reconnaissance, or it was a fighter. Well, I think that it was for the reconnaissance. Among the drones, there are dual-use drones. They can make all the intelligence activities, or they may also bomb or launch missiles, so they can both of them can be on one platform, and so you cannot make this kind of separation. At the moment, the last question is this regional research center. How do the female soldiers feel in the front line? Well, today I saw 5 women at the tank fighters. They are super professional contractors, and they are using the best anti-tank armament, and they are just acting like gods, and even not a single fly may miss from their shots. I have seen some snipers, and also the artillerists, and I have seen also a lady who is the commander of the company. So our daughters, our wives, our mothers are becoming heroes from day to day. Yesterday I met a girl who left a woman who left her 6-month-old baby and came and joined the army. So if there are more questions from the room, please. Mr. Hovhannisyan, I would like to know. We would like to know, there are a lot of conversations about the missings or the prisoners. I already covered this question. Unfortunately, we do not have any accurate information. It is very difficult under the intensive war to have accurate information. Because we do not have any chance to collect this kind of correct information. Maybe we can later on do it to to find out about the casualties, about the missing soldiers, etc. And as I said, there were two groups who we thought they were missing, but they returned. So they were soldiers and officers, etc. There could be such situations very often, and I understand your attention, your concerns about the human faith, but it is very difficult at the moment to make any summary. Well, thank you. Follow us from Goris, Stepanakert, and Yerevan. Most probably I will be in Yerevan tomorrow. Today I was on the front line, and we will continue working with you, and thank you for your very important work and efforts. Thank you.